Yo, Boruto chapter 60 is finally here, and to be honest, this is more so a slow chapter. I didn't really like this chapter at first. I had to reread it again because I was missing out on so many like small details that, if I didn't reread it, then I would have had a completely different opinion. So I'm glad that, I didn't rush or anything like that to get this out there, and I actually reread some of the things. Pretty much a slow chapter. They're still building up some character development with like Kawaki, Code, and Ada. It is slow. I do understand that. We have a monthly manga, so man, it feels like it's taking forever, but I feel like they're slowly approaching this point to where we're gonna get this fight that's gonna be happening very soon. Like very soon. I know that it may seem slow, but listen, I think the last fight was like chapter 55, kind of the end of that Ishiki arc. So at the point of where we're going, we're kind of making decent pace, to be honest. It's only been like 5 months. So I don't really expect a fight to happen every single chapter, but I do think that we're gonna maybe start leading up to some fights, maybe in the next 2 chapters or 3 chapters. Really quick, want to talk about Damon's design. Dislike Damon's design only for this sole reason. The red and silver is hard. That's cold. That's cold. But like the blue hair is throwing it off for me. The blue and the pink is throwing it off for me a little bit. I feel like that color, like blue or whatever that color is, or greenish blue, it just does not mix with red and silver. It just does not. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. I don't really rock with that design. But we kind of start off this chapter with Code's marks he has around the village. Pretty much these are just, for if he wants to come in whenever he pleases to, and I'm probably going to be used for when he gets ready to attack. Kind of all I want to say is that these are sort of similar to like the flying Raijin jutsu, to where he can kind of just go to wherever these marks are. So yeah, Code is definitely prepping for the attack, and it's going to be sometime soon. Now moving on to Kawaki on top of the mountain, and this is probably one of the things that I really did miss out when I first read it, but pay attention to Kawaki on top of this stone face, and he notices like people watching him in the trees. There's a couple of guys down there sort of looking at him strange, or just keeping tabs on him, and for the sole reason of he's an outsider, they still want to check up on him, make sure he's not doing anything suspicious. That's what I feel like. This is going to be really important kind of moving forward, and it's kind of something they kind of like reference as the chapter goes on. But moving on, man, we got the Amato conclusion of what he's kind of doing. So apparently he's not planning to do anything bad with the karma. He swears he's good. I still don't really believe it, but there is a possibility where Amato could end up actually being good. It could be one of those scenarios to where like it's like one of those ankle breakers where, yeah, I was telling the truth the whole time, dog. I was not bad, but I still don't believe it for a second. Apparently he's building this ally for Konoha, the cyborg. He said it got past verification by Katasuke. Now, I don't really know if Amato should be building cyborgs because he's going to be in complete control of it. So if he ever wanted to, he could just turn that cyborg on Konoha. I don't really think that's a good idea, but really, what are their options, right? I mean, Naruto and Sasuke are nerfed, and they kind of need all the help they can get. But I'm not even sure who's in that container. I'm guessing it's going to be a whole new person, because Roro Amato will get the chance to find like some random DNA, right? He's been the Leaf Village the whole time. Unless he went to like some sort of like Konoha cemetery and was able to retrieve some sort of DNA. That's the only like way I could see him bringing back some Konoha OGs. I mentioned like Minato would be cool. Someone mentioned Shisui, but I think it's going to be a completely new character that they're going to bring up for this cyborg. I don't think it's even going to be Delta. Like a lot of people saw that poof thing. I think that's more so just to kind of block it out and not give us any big reveals right now. But Code and Ada and Damon are still in that facility, and Code wants to test out Damon's ability, right? Because the whole like intent thing, and he notices that it kind of activates simultaneously. Now, the whole reason he's trying to do this is because he's trying to break the barriers down, break the ice a little bit, pour some drinks, make it real chill. He's trying to get them, acquainted with him, but Ada is still not letting her guard down, and she tells Damon straight up, like, yo, don't tell Code everything you could do. Like, we don't know this guy. We just met him like, what, 15 minutes ago, you know what I'm saying? Ada says it's best not to do that, and Code kind of comes to that conclusion to where it's like, maybe Ada has some tricks up her sleeve that she actually hasn't revealed herself yet, which is entirely possible because we only know about the clairvoyance thing and that attraction thing. So yeah, I mean, she said she could only do taijutsu, which I'm not really inclined to believe that 100%. They kind of imply that she has some more abilities hidden up her sleeve. So yeah, it looks like Ada, maybe even Damon, may be stronger than they actually appear. But now going back to the shopping scene with Kawaki, you kind of notice that same thing, right? Like back in the beginning, people were staring at him, those guards were staring at him in the the trees. Now people are staring at him in the shop, and these words that Jigen says sort of get brought back up. Yo, there's no place for you here. So you can kind of get that energy, right? Like maybe Jigen's right, you know, everyone's staring at me weird, I don't really belong in the village. So that's kind of the vibes that Kawaki's getting. Just one quick thing to mention, Boruto's pills, we finally get to see kind of what they've been doing. Hasn't really been doing anything, he doesn't know what it's doing. He's just been taking 2 pills a day for a week, hasn't really seen any results, so he gets kind of iffy and whatnot. So I like that they're kind of keeping us up on that. I kind of want to see more of Boruto's reaction to him and sort of that internal struggle, but they kind of represent a little bit with some of the pictures and whatever. But yeah, anyway, so Kawaki and Naruto are on top of the stone faces once again, and Kawaki says something like he likes the view, to look down at the village you protect, but he says that, you know, there's no place for me here, right? And I feel like he feels like that way because of, you know, it just feels like he's an outsider. It feels like he's causing a nuisance, and it feels like he's always like looking over his back because people are constantly looking at him different or whatever. But I'm kind of curious what other people thought about this scene. But when Naruto picks him up and takes him away, I feel like Naruto didn't directly address the problem. I thought Naruto would usually do like his whole talking thing, but he didn't actually say anything to Kawaki. He sort of just picked him up and brought him home. So maybe that's the best thing to do, I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of closing up the chapter, back at the dinner, and the infamous vase is back, and Boruto then hands Kawaki his headband, but only on the conditions that he gives it back when he becomes a shinobi. Looking at that first scene, I'm guessing he never becomes a shinobi because damn, I didn't see the headband in sight. Kawaki says that, hey, I'm not really convinced about this stuff, and you can sort of tell by the way he's looking at the headband that he's not really feeling this whole shinobi stuff, not really feeling the whole Konoha thing, and he's still feeling a little bit unsafe. But before the chapter ends, Boruto is staring at the pill still, and he's staring at his karma. I like how that scene was kind of portrayed because even without words, you can kind of see Boruto's worry. He's just looking at his karma, he's looking at the pills. Yo, are these pills actually doing something? Are these pills failing? Like, he's ready for the inevitable to come. You can just kind of see the stress on Boruto's face, like those late night thoughts that Boruto's having. So I thought that was very interesting, that kind of displayed that like internal struggle there. But Kawaki at the end mentions the whole karma thing with Amato, but he's still unsure if he really belongs in Konoha, and you know, he's saying that there's one last thing that he can do to help Naruto and to protect Konoha, which may actually be to leave the Leaf Village, because I can't really think of any other ways for him to do so. But yeah, actually a pretty decent chapter. I give it like a 7.5 out of 10. I think we're gonna kind of start seeing the reason why Kawaki eventually does what he does in the very first episode of Boruto. So that's kind of why I like this chapter. Character development chapters are needed. I feel like, yo, I know it's boring, it goes by so slow, but trust me, y'all gonna love it when like they reference something from this chapter. I'm okay with a couple more slow ones, but definitely need to start picking up the pace sometime soon. I, for one, kind of appreciated, you know, the little things they gave us there. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the chapter. Very interested to hear your thoughts. Anyways, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and join the Discord. And I'll see you later. Peace.